Hey, 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 it's your girl Tash Angel here, and we are with the amazing Natalie Campbell, who is running for Mayor of London. How amazing is that?
I know, sometimes you wake up and you decide that you have to change some things, and so in I go.
Amazing, amazing. So tell us about that journey in terms of what made you wake up and think, I'm going to be the Mayor of London, because you definitely, I think you will be.
Thank you. So look, I'm from Northwest London, and growing up, it wasn't easy in Northwest London, but it's not as hard as it feels now.
100%.
People are suffering.
Yes.
We're seeing crime on the increase. I don't necessarily feel like the opportunities that we had growing up here exist for young people. And when you take that across all of London, there are so many things that the mayor's responsible for that we're not seeing concrete actions on.
Okay.
We're not necessarily hearing a mayor that's talking about making our lives better.
Yes.
And so you can wake up in the morning and complain, or you can say, let me do something about it. And I'm lucky enough that I've built a career that means I can do something about it. So I'm running as a proud Northwest London Willesden girl. It's not easy, but it's absolutely doable to win.
Amazing, amazing. And I mean, that's a big journey and a big goal to go for. But as you said, it's not a difficult thing to do because you're very experienced. You've had a very colourful career. Tell us about that journey.
So at 15, I decided that I wanted to be a CEO when we were at school together.
Well, girl, I said to my mum, I remember her walking through the playground with such grace. No drama, just grace and demure attitude, if that is a word. So yes.
You mean I was stush at school?
Basically, yeah.
I love the hip hop movement of the 90s. You know, the music. We used to do like the school plays, and we were always singing and dancing. And in my head, I was like, right, I'm going to be the next CEO of a record label. And then over time, getting to university, I realised that wasn't the dream, but I did end up starting my own business. So in my final year of university, I opened a clothing store. It was called Morgan. It was a high street brand back in the day. So anyone that remembers the 90s.
Was Morgan you?
Well, yeah, so I had a franchise in Lancaster.
Oh, amazing.
So anyone that worked in Jane Norman or Miss Selfridge or any of those brands, sort of Morgan was around at the same time. So I opened that in my last year of university. And from there, that just kick-started a wonderful career of entrepreneurship, but also I joined a number of boards. I was just saying to the young people that are here with us now that I joined my first board at 23.
Amazing.
So I had this dual track career of being an entrepreneur, being in these spaces and places with people that were running multi-million pound, billion pound companies, and also building a life as a board member. And from there, that started so many, opportunities to understand how systems work. And it's one of the things that I'm sharing with people as I go on this journey. To run for the Mayor of London, you have to understand a system, and London is a system of individual components that you need to look at as a whole.
Amazing, amazing. In terms of the system and how it is run now versus what your plan is there much of a difference?
A big difference.
Because I stay away from politics because I think it's one thing that starts fights and crying and arguing. However, when I saw you running, I thought, she's going to do it right. She's going to be for the normal people and not the people who have no experience of what it is to grow up in Northwest, South, East, wherever you live in London. How would you differ from what's going on now? Because we're in a bit of a mess.
We are in a mess. So the first thing is I'm running as an independent candidate.
Amazing.
And so when you run within a party, you ultimately are either running because you want a different job. So you want to be the Prime Minister, let's say, or because you want to get further up in your party. That means that you make decisions that are self-interested as opposed to decisions that are right for people.
Amazing.
So going in as mayor, if and when 1.5 million people vote for me, I have to keep those 1.5 million and the rest of the Londoners happy. And there is no other agenda.
Okay.
So I can make decisions without having to toe the party line and think about this next job and who's going to back me and all of these other things that politicians have to think about. I'm a CEO. Running London with a CEO's approach, and some people will be like, oh, CEO, I'm not sure. But the businesses that I run are about purpose, they're about people, they're about the environment. The business that I run at the moment, we give all of our profits away, we give them to WaterAid.
Oh, wow.
And so it's not a CEO taking, it's a CEO that's putting back into communities. And when we think about London, the budget for London is £17 billion a year.
Okay.
Spending that in a way where we see and feel the difference, where we see and feel policing in a way that feels very different to anything we're seeing from the Met right now.
Please.
When we're seeing homes that are being built that work for an individual just as much as they can work for a family, seeing youth provision and youth centres back on high streets.
Please do. That's so
Year-round
needed.
provision. All of this stuff is within the Mayor's gift, and we're just not seeing it happen.
No, and I second that. I mean, the homelessness is going up. The amount of tents I'm seeing outside of stations is horrific, considering, one, how cold it is, but two, how much resources are out there, how many empty buildings are out there that even if they just stay there for a night and then get shooed on until the night falls, there has to be someone who can do something about what's going on. So,
Tash, but we're a global economy. London in and of itself is a global economy. There is more than enough money in London for us to house and look after every single person that is homeless. Homelessness is a political choice.
Oh, wow.
So I have pledged to, in my first 4 years, end youth homelessness. There are 20,000 young people that do not have homes, and that's in temporary accommodation.
Yeah.
At school, I had friends that had kids really young. The system that they went through and being homeless for long periods of time, like that we can end. It is a political choice that those systems do not work. But someone has to decide to do it. So that's what I'm deciding to do.
You're like our hero, aren't you? Now, London, scary place at the moment. I have a son, my one son, and my biggest fear is what every mother fears with the raising knife. I wouldn't say gun crime as much as it used to be, but the knife crime is a pandemic in itself. Yeah. How are you going to help the police or navigate that to reduce what is going on at the moment?
So the first thing that I would say to people is when you hear a candidate saying more police, more police, more police, that is not the answer.
No.
We grew up with gun crime actually being quite high, especially
Very
around
high.
this area. You have to look at the system.
Yes.
We have young people that are going through quite traumatic experiences just being young. We have to acknowledge that and look after them and look after their mental health. Lots of studies show that you can almost through data and circumstance understand the kids or know who the kids are that will end up carrying a knife.
Okay.
And you can determine that when they're at primary school. So let's go in and put wraparound support and care around those young people long before they need to carry that knife. The fastest way to stop a child dying on the street is to make sure that no one has a knife in the first place. After the fact, policing doesn't change anything. It's about prevention.
Of course.
Having longer school day provision, having youth centres, making sure that we change the way policing is structured. So I will go back to hyper-local policing.
Okay.
PC Fox used to come to our primary school.
I remember him.
On the high street. So actually putting neighbourhood centres with police back on every single high street, we can do that within the budget that we've got. Therefore, police know who's within a community, they know the community leaders. There's a sense of rebuilding the trust that has been broken.
Yes.
And then when we look at some of the other things that need to happen, I've been speaking to lots of young people and they said one of the reasons that more people are carrying knives is because the sentencing has changed.
Okay.
So this is where the stick needs to come in. Automatically, if you are carrying a knife or you commit a crime with a knife, there's no 2-year sentences. Because then it's like, well, I just do 2.
I'll do 1.
And I'm out. Okay, so we need to change and look at that deterrent as well. I don't like deterrence, I prefer preventative action.
Yes.
But if I'm going to make a dent in my first 4 years, then there will need to be carrot and stick. And I'll be very honest about that. Lots of people are like, oh, stop and search, stop and search. It's a red herring. That's the sort of divisive politics
Yes.
it doesn't make a difference. We have to look at how we're looking after our young people.
Amazing, amazing. I think that's so important. The stop and search. There could be one boy getting stops and search every single day, little innocent John doing absolutely nothing wrong, and that will dent his ego, his self-esteem.
How he sees himself.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I had that talk with my son the other day, the stop and search talk, and as young as he is, it's important that mothers have these conversations, because if not, they don't know what to do in those situations. But hopefully, it won't be like that for long.
Hopefully, and I hope he doesn't get stopped, because I don't think we really understand from a dignity perspective what it does in terms of how we then perceive ourselves and our place in the world.
Yes.
So we have to make sure that if we are using it, it is absolutely valid. And the way that it's being done right now isn't. The other thing that I need to say, which is really important, I wasn't sure that I was going to run, and I wasn't sure that I was going to run as an independent, but there was an incident that lots of people know, which is child Q, which is the case of a young girl, 15 years old, being strip searched in a school.
Yes.
Her teachers called the police and they strip searched her. For me, categorically, that should not happen.
No.
That should not happen. And not a single politician stepped up to say that we need to ban and end the use of strip search in schools. Under my mayoralty, that will never happen.
No.
If there is an immediate threat, because a child, and this was the case that they're saying, what if a child's got a bomb?
Yeah, right. Okay, John.
But you're going to feel that outside their clothes anyway. If they've got a knife, you feel that outside of their clothes.
Yes.
And so it went down to the minutiae of what if they've got a razor in their bum. If a child has a razor in their bum, they're going to have problems anyway. So, we can ban strip searching in school. The indignity of that happening to any child, and it's happened to over 9,000 children.
Wow.
In London.
That is a
some
very
of them
heavy
not
statistic.
even telling their parents. So some children being repeatedly strip searched without any safeguarding.
Wow.
And the mayor has done nothing to switch that off, talk about it, or basically say it cannot happen again.
This is the thing, you said the mayor. My opinion and view on him is he's not here for us, is he? No. He's here for whatever agenda he's here for, but it's costing us money, and we are suffering on a daily basis. But he's so far removed from the normal world, he most probably doesn't even see it. So I'm so glad that you are running for mayor, because we need you. You're like the people's mayor, aren't you?
I am the people's.
Yes, you
are
are
the people that are going to put me in. There is no one else that is going to put me into the city, into City Hall, other than the people, and that's what I'm here to serve. As
one of the people, what can we do to support you?
I need everyone that's eligible to vote, and that means you're over 18, essentially over 18. You need to be registered though.
Okay.
And you need to register before the 16th of April.
Okay.
And you need to make sure that you have ID. So they've changed the voting system now. Before you could turn up to the polling station and just say your name and they'd tick you off. Now you need to show valid ID.
Okay.
So you can get any form of ID for free. It could be your passport, it could be driver's license. If you don't have those, you can apply for ID online. And then you need to show up on the 2nd of May. Even if it's raining, even if in May there's snow, you need to vote. That's the only way we get politicians that actually deliver for us. We have to vote.
Okay, and if anybody wants to hear more about your manifestos, what you will be delivering for us as a people, where can we go? If
you go to teamcampbell.london, that's my website. I've got all of the manifestos on there and their videos. So 8-minute videos on each area that I am focusing on. But I've also got a Substack. I'm also on TikTok, so you can talk to me on TikTok. Modern day mayor. I'm on everything, but I'm also an introvert, so I'm like, whoa, I'm tired at the end of the day. But I'm on everything. So if you Google teamcampbell.london or Natalie Campbell, Mayor of London, it will come up. Amazing. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. No problem at all. Now, we've got to know the mayor, but we want to get to know the lady behind the mayor. So I've got a few fun questions. Okay. Anything that's too personal or you don't want to answer, you have a pass. Okay. Use it as you wish. So first things first, are you single, married, engaged, or just focusing on business and winning the election? I am single and focused on winning the election. After the election, ask me again. Okay, lovely. And online dating or
Natural, organic meats.
Organic meats. I had a window of online dating, and now I'm like, I want to see someone in real life. What I want is I want to be out and see someone, and they see me, and it'd be like, right, like old school conversation.
Okay. That glance across the room.
Yeah.
Catch the energy.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Quiet night in or a crazy night out?
Night in.
Okay. Jungle or garage?
It's going to be garage.
Okay.
But I'm a slow jams girl, so it took me a while to warm up to both.
Okay, well the next question was R&B or slow jams?
Slow jams all day.
Lovely. Funky house or soulful house?
Funky.
Okay. And bashment or soca?
Bashment.
Okay. Heels or trainers, what do you prefer?
Heels.
Okay, corporate lady. And if you were looking for a gentleman, do you like a bad boy or do you prefer a nice corporate gentleman?
Or do I out myself? I mean, I like them from the hood.
Okay, North Wheezy, we are here.
Easy through and through.
Okay, and what would you say your love language is?
Oh, acts of service.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. And your number one ick?
People that don't listen. Big one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The worst type of date you've ever been on?
So do you know what? I'm going to be honest. Growing up in North West London, I didn't really date until I was 21 because that's not how it went.
No.
Really. And I don't think I've had a bad date.
Okay.
I haven't had a bad date because I choose wisely before I get on the date.
Good lady. So
they've all been interesting, good. Yeah.
Okay, you're lucky. I've got some stories to tell you, girl. Okay, what song do you play when you're happy?
Oh, great question. So at the moment, every morning I listen to Joy by Voices of Fire.
Okay. Joy by Voices of Fire.
Yeah,
I've not heard that.
It's a gospel song.
Okay.
It's a choir that Pharrell set up.
Okay.
Just everything about that song is a brilliant way to start the day.
Amazing. I'm definitely going to look that up. What's the song you play when you are angry?
Oh, when I'm angry. Probably the same song.
Okay.
Because I want to get out of being angry. Or 212 by Azalea Banks.
Okay, nice song.
Well, the words are a bit spicy.
Flowers or chocolates? What do you prefer? Flowers. And finally, if you had one wish, what would it be?
To be Mayor of London.
Well, we will make that happen. Everybody, please. How many votes do we need?
1.5 million votes.
Amazing. So once again, if you can let everybody know where we can go to again here, your manifesto, and also get to voting and get to supporting.
Yeah. So go to teamcampbell.london for the manifesto. All of the information that you need is on there. But if you can't find that, go on to TikTok, Natalie D. Campbell, or Instagram, Natalie D. Campbell, or teamcampbell.london. Really, really simple. Remember, the vote is the 2nd of May. You need to be registered and you need ID.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you so much. No problem. And we look forward for you being the mayor. Can I say that again? We look forward to you being the mayor.